healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today, members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community. And if you are new here and you would like to learn more about Bucksmont, please stop by our visitor center. It's in the front hallway near where you came in. There you can make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bucksmont UU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on screen for everyone now, and it will be shown again later in the service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, or other ways to connect with our community, you can find them on the homepage of our website. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad you are a part of our worship service today. There is a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. And guess what? There's no announcements. But we do have a special announcement from one of the many committees that make our community. Okay. Hi, I'm Tracy Blakeney. I'm co-chair of the Bucksmont UU Fellowship Peace and Justice Committee. Our committee is dedicated to upholding Unitarian Universalist principles by fighting for equality and justice for all living beings. We do this by supporting local organizations who fight for justice on a grassroots level. And sometimes we go on marches. We prompt our legislators to vote for the benefit of their constituents. And we follow UU Justice PA to fight causes for causes such as climate change.
One of the issues our membership said they were most concerned about was the issue of climate change. And we work to address that by sending postcards to our legislators. We have marched with the Quaker Action Team, and we have had a discussion group, a session on ethical eating.
We join with other congregations that are members of Power Bucks Interfaith to work for full and fair education funding for all Pennsylvania's kids and educate voters on Pennsylvania government and voting access. This past election, we helped send 2,000 Get Out the Vote postcards to low turnout precincts in Bucks County.
We work with the Apartment Partners program, sponsoring a family trying to get back on their feet. We also work with Cradles to Crayons. We determine our split plate recipients from the survey done through the committee. Please come join us in our efforts to make the world a better place.
Freude, schöne Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium. Wir betreten Feuer trunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum. Deine Zauber binden wieder, was die
As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday and those who may be watching months from now. We are joined together for worship across space and time. This is a free, creedless religious congregation. In the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship, we join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin, or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define your family, and wherever you are at this time, whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today with the words of from J. Kessler. Young people need something stable to hang on to, a culture connection, a sense of their own past, a hope for their own future. Most of all, they need what grandparents can give them. Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Worthington, and I use she, her pronouns. Please join us and rise as you're willing and able in singing hymn number 21, Before the Beauty of the Earth. For the love which from above
You can come too. Any of the kids can come up, young at heart, anybody. I'm going to read you a story. If you like hearing stories. Good. Well, this book is called The Truth About Grandparents. Do any of you have grandparents? You have grandparents? Yeah. You have grandparents? Good, good. So you know all about this. This is by Alina Ellis. My grandparents are really old. They have wrinkly faces, a little bit of hair, and funny teeth. I've been hearing a lot of strange things about old people. Some people say they're not much fun. What are they doing? They're on a roller coaster. That's pretty much fun, right? Yeah. They say that grandparents are slow. What are they doing? She's on roller skates, he's on a skateboard. Is that slow? That's fast. Yeah. And clumsy? Now, could a clumsy person throw all those pancakes up in the air like that? No. I think they're teasing us. And not bendy. What are they doing? They're bending, right. You bend all the time, me too. Some people say that grandparents are scared of new things. She's using her computer, he's using his remote control dog. That's not scared of new things, is it? Yeah. They're trying new things, right? And they don't ever dance. What are they doing? They're dancing. I think they're. And they don't care for romance. Oh, I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. They say that grandparents are quiet. What are they doing? They're playing musical instruments. Is that quiet? That's loud, yeah. And grandparents are not at all adventurous. They're looking at, what are they looking at? They're looking at the stars. That is. But I know the truth about grandparents. Grandparents are amazing. Do you think so? Do you think grandparents are amazing? Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead and go back to your seats. Well, Miss Barbara's not here, and we're not going to have downstairs, so you can stay with us. It's okay. I'll be here.
That story was just too short. The offering in liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of November, we are sharing with First Parish Malden, which is in Massachusetts and supports trans people and families. As many of us know, transgender people are under attack and being criminalized in many states right now. This is so serious that they fit the criteria to be designated as internally displaced peoples by the United Nations. The UUA and UUSC have been working with the Trans Resistance Network to get folks out of unsafe states and welcomed into safer states. And where usually we give our donations to a very local organization, this particular church, UU Church First Parish Malden, is coordinating all of the donations from the country, across the country. So please support them. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of our worship service, or you may place your donation into one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive the morning offering. Our community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful.
Good morning. I'm Rob Livesey. I identify with the pronouns he, him. In our family, I'm also known as Pop. My beautiful wife, Linda, is Mom. And together we have 5 grandchildren aged 1 to 5. And we are over the moon that number 6 is due in April. I gotta hold it together here. I've been asked to share some of my perspectives on becoming and learning to be a grandparent, as well as the daily joy we get from our littles. Specifically, why becoming a grandparent and having all our grandkids in the center of our lives drives a purpose and core values for both Linda and me. However, to understand why grandkids are so important in our lives, I'd like to step back 7 years. Linda and I have been married about 5.5 years. This is a second marriage for both of us. We are both widowed, and we're very grateful we found each other. As we started planning our life together, it became increasingly clear that a priority for both of us was to maintain our respective families and to build a happy blended family. A family practice that practices the important values and traditions that build on the 60-plus years of full lives that preceded finding each other. A tall order when you consider the many complexities we had to navigate included our extended families and friends, combining finances, figuring out where and how we wanted to live, and building the common ground for a life in which we would age together. We ended up building a house for grandkids, family, and friends. Most important, collectively, we have 5 grown kids, all of which are essential to our new life together. 3 kids are married with great partners. All 5 live within an hour of our current home in Chalfont. And once again, we're grateful that geographical distance is not a challenge. So what does any of this have to do with grandkids? Part of our journey is that we did not share in the raising of our families. There are no obvious handbooks or answers to building a blended family. However, we did agree that grandchildren were going to be the bridge to becoming a blended family. Building a bridge starts with sharing the joy, excitement, and pending changes that comes with parenthood. We both remember that moment when we learned about each of our littles. Becoming a parent is not easy. I can remember when I learned I was going to be a father. Excitement and, oh my God, what do I do now? Linda and I want to support, share, and help in any way we can. However, we walk that fine line between being helpful and crossing the guardrail. Painting nurseries, hosting baby showers, buying receiving blankets are only the tip of the iceberg. We believe that charity begins at home. For us, that means prioritizing our time, providing emotional support, and giving financial help as needed. Building relationships based in trust and love is a great first step to becoming a grandparent. We have been present, or shortly thereafter, for the birth of all 5 of our grandchildren. The first was born 3 months after our wedding. The last was born just over a year ago. We've been busy. Today, we try to see each of the 5 at least once a week. Doesn't always work that way, but we try. We use FaceTime or Zoom on a frequent basis, particularly during the pandemic. Holidays, birthdays, and annual family beach vacation are all focused on kids. Having fun, creating memories, blended traditions, and new traditions are our life. We babysit when parents are in a bind, or need a vacation, or a night out. We attend Christmas recitals, Halloween parades, birthday parties, etc. Going to parks, visiting Santa, Legos, coloring, puzzles, watching Disney movies are all great fun. After all, if it's not fun, why do it? When I was a parent, I was busy. It seems like it was difficult to always balance life's challenges of home, marriage, job, and parenting. I feel like I missed too many soccer games, parent-teacher conferences, etc. I'm probably being too hard on myself, but I don't think I was always fully present for everything I tried to include in my life. Being a grandparent feels like getting a second chance or a do-over, so to speak. Grandchildren fill a space in my heart I didn't even know existed. Watching the joy, the innocence on their faces. Being there for first steps, first words, comforting them when they're sick and afraid. Becoming grandparents means helping them understand new emotions, appreciating the innocence of growing up, sharing the simple experiences such as playing in the park, taking a walk, baking cookies, ice cream on a summer afternoon, finding shells on the beach, or flying a kite. You get the picture. When it comes to building our relationship with each of the 5, investing the time and of ourselves to get to know them. A child's love is playing with them. A child's love language is playing with them. Going back to why it makes a difference for our family, I am Pop, Linda is Mom for all 5 of them. There are no steps. All 5 are our grandchildren. There is one more benefit. As a grandparent, the privilege of being able to make lasting impressions on a young person is priceless. I've come to realize that they pay attention to what you say and what you do. Your actions will model behaviors, values, and a belief system that will be a part of the rest of their lives. It's not that parents, teachers, and others can't have the same impact. But being a grandparent is a unique opportunity to be a part of someone's life that you share a special bond. Some of my earliest core memories involve my grandparents. My love of the outdoors came from summers spent at their ranch in California. My mother made it a priority to teach her 5 granddaughters the value of being a strong, independent woman. This morning, I have my family here, and it warms my heart. Linda and I cannot wait for the next chapter. Soon they will start school and pursue many things that could interest them. We want to share, encourage, and even learn about what I imagine to be a variety of interests, some of which will become passions. Replace judgment with curiosity. So our intention is to remain engaged and a part of their lives. One of our goals for aging is to dance at our grandchildren's wedding. It's been a pleasure to share part of my life with my Bucksmont friends this morning. I wish you an amazing holiday season. I know ours will be great. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jackie Drews, and I use she and her pronouns. It was 19 years ago that I received that phone call that I think most parents can't wait to get. Hey, Mom, you're going to be a grandparent. It's my oldest son, and I was thrilled beyond belief. As the conversation progressed, my son said, Mom, what do you want to be called? Without even thinking, I responded, Nana. No grandmother, granny, or something trendy like Yaya or Gigi for me. He immediately responded, you can't be Nana. Nana was Nana. I understood exactly where he was coming from. My 3 children loved and adored my mother, their Nana. I wanted that for myself. So over the next several months, it was suggested I could be the Jackster or even Jack Mama, but never once Nana. I kept thinking, what kind of legacy would the Jackster or Jack Mama be? So what exactly is legacy? Webster defines legacy as something transmitted by or received from an ancestor, predecessor, or from the past. According to the Legacy Project and Susan V. Bosick, legacy is about life and living. It's about learning from the past, living in the present, and building for the future. She writes, where do you think it's best to plant a young tree? A clearing in an old growth forest or an open field? Ecologists tell us that a young tree grows better when it's planted in an area with older trees. The reason, it seems, is that the roots of the young tree are able to follow the pathways created by former trees and implant themselves more deeply. Over time, the roots of many trees may actually graft themselves to one another, creating an intricate, interdependent foundation hidden under the ground. In this way, stronger trees share resources with weaker ones, so that the whole forest becomes healthier. That's legacy, an interconnection across time with a need for those who have come before us and a responsibility for those who come after us. Okay, I may not be called Nana, but I could give my grandchildren a glimpse of their past and, of course, expand their horizons. After all, what is a grandparent but someone who loves their grandchildren? Someone once said, grandmoms are moms with lots of frosting. Over the years, I've shared many of my loves and interests with my 3 grandchildren, and it's interesting to see how each of them share some of my favorite interests. My oldest granddaughter, Sophie, shares my love of drawing and painting. We once painted storefronts for Halloween together, and she continues to carry a sketchbook. My only grandson, Sam, plays the saxophone and piano. Not my instruments, but I get questions while driving him to band practice about when I was in band. And then there is my youngest granddaughter, Lily. She loves the theater. I attribute that to all the shows I have taken the kids to over the years. This year, she tried out for the school play, and she also asked me to take her to Broadway for Christmas. Would they have these interests if not for me? Maybe, but I like to think that is my legacy to my grandchildren. So what do my grandkids call me? When my granddaughter was born, I traveled to St. Louis to meet her when she was 2 weeks old. I knocked on the apartment door, and my son opened the door with the baby in his arms. Before I was even inside, my son proudly held out the baby and said, "Here, Nana, want to hold Sophie?" I knew then I was going to be the kind of Nana that my mother was. Every once in a while, Sophie will say, "Hey, Jackster, what do you think?"
Please rise as you're willing and able and join us in singing hymn number 1012, When I Am Frightened. When I am frightened, will you reassure me? When I'm uncertain, will you hold my hand? Will you be strong for me? Sing to me quietly. Will you share some of your stories with me? If you will show me compassion, then I may learn to care as you do. Then I may learn to care. When I am angry, will you still embrace me? When I am thoughtless, will you understand? Will you believe in me? Stand by me willingly. Will you share some of your questions with me? If you will show me acceptance, then I may learn to give as you do. Then I may learn to give. When I am troubled, will you listen to me? When I am lonely, will you be my friend? Will you be there for me? Comfort me tenderly. Will you share some of your feelings with me? If you will show me commitment, then I may learn to love as you do. Then I may learn to love.
Hi, my name is Margaret Henley, and I use she, her pronouns. I want to read you a little bit from a book called I Already Love You by Willa Perlman. I already love your heart. It will beat against mine when I hold you, forever and ever. In July, I found out I'm going to be a grandmother. My daughter Sarah and son-in-law Alberto had been planning a trip to Ghana for Sarah's father and me to meet Alberto's father in December, as he had been unable to attend their wedding in May of '22. So when I received an email from Sarah to attend a coordinating Zoom meeting for the trip, I wasn't surprised. However, instead of the Zoom meeting I had expected, Sarah announced that she was pregnant, due in January. So the trip was off. My first thought was, she's so happy, I'm happy. My second thought was, I'm not ready. About a year ago, Sarah had asked me what kind of grandmother I wanted to be. Picture this. She's a student in a post-baccalaureate pre-med program after having decided that she wanted to leave a career in teaching. And I'm newly married, trying to figure out married life again. So I said, anytime you or the baby is sick, call and I'll come babysit. But I don't want to be in the regular rotation. After a resounding, what? She reminded me that my own mother had been in the regular rotation. But I wasn't my mother. So I've had 5 months to think about this. Mostly, I've been thinking about my kids' relationship with my mother, who passed away last summer. My children adored their grandmother, and their grandmother adored them. I think about all the times that she and my father took the kids to see the swans and Canadian geese that gather every year on their way south at Middle Creek Wildlife Refuge. Their Friday afternoons at Green Dragon Farmers Market to get donuts that I wouldn't ordinarily have allowed them to have. They're getting down on the floor to play with the marble roller or to play Uncle Wiggily. I think about how the kids drove hours to see their grandparents right before they died, how they broke into tears at their grandparents' funerals. I want to be that kind of grandmother. So a few months ago, she asked me, what do you want to be called? Nana didn't fit. I said, Mimi. That was the name of our dog. No. Mama? No. Grandma. Grandma Margaret. My mother was Grandma Henley, and I want to be Grandma Margaret. So I was in the attic last week and pulled down a Rubbermaid container with the most special of my kids' clothes that I had saved and moved from house to house for years. One dress is a white infant dress, what my mother called lawn. It's a semi-transparent cotton fabric. There's a photo of me in that dress at the age of about 6 months. And I have another photo of Sarah in that same dress at about the same age. 2 weeks ago, I carefully ironed that dress and gave it to Sarah at her baby shower, along with that photo. I wish my mother had been there to see. So Sarah, put me in the rotation. I'll be there with the games and the books and whatever you need. Because it doesn't matter if I'm ready. I'll be whatever you need me to be.
Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries. Connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. I now share words from Elizabeth M. Strong. Please join me in the spirit of meditation and prayer. We know the leaves are dying. We know that their blaze of beauty is a preparation for death. It is a time when we appreciate the effort of nature to rise above the ordinariness of life and death. It is a time when we visibly comprehend glory and wonder. And we worship with thanks. We now feel that the air is cold and crisp. We feel now a clearing from the skies of the heaviness of the hazes of summer. It is a time when we appreciate the crispness and sharpness of the realities of life and death. It is a time when we physically comprehend the relief that clarity and insight can bring, and we worship with thanks. We hear now the dry rustle of plants and grasses. We hear a crackling from the earth that tells us of the withering of the fullness of life. It is a time when we appreciate approaching rest from the frantic fullness. It is a time when we hear a different voice within and know that life is settling down for a well-deserved wintering. Let it be so within each of our lives as we prepare for an autumn in our own life cycle. For we all need rest and respite if we are to understand and appreciate the rhythm of life in our soul that enables us to worship with thanks. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both joys and sorrows in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn to one another. We hold each other and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are lighting candles to mark the important moments in our lives. Each candle adds to the collective light of this community, a place that holds the memories of those that have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like to be held by our caring community, text the number that is now on the screen. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Jackie will light a candle on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your first and last name with what you share. And now we will light a final candle for all the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With words spoken and candles lit, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning, and the many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Please join us in singing our final hymn, number 114, Forward Through the Ages. Please rise as you're willing and able.
Forward through the ages in unbroken
Thank you. Our chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Neil Sedaka. I've always enjoyed seeing the world through the eyes of my grandchildren.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of love. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.